Feral Friday is a podcast about dark romance and monster smut. So if you're not down for weird shit, this is not the show for you. Content may include explicit sexual description, explicit language, conversations about human to human monster, and monster to monster sexual activities. Masturbation, questionable consent, morally gray ethics, murder out of jealousy, BDSM themes and tropes, fictional pregnancy, violence, emotional gut-wrenching story arcs, and all of the kinks. Oh, and dubious insertion of inanimate objects. We're multicultural, multipolitical, multisexual, multiracial group. We believe in inclusiveness, body positivity, bodily autonomy, and human rights for all. But we also like talking about characters getting railed by monsters and humans alike. Overall, prepare for cackling, tangents, general unhinged commentary. We're probably going to annoy the majority of the general population, but if you don't like it, instead of clutching your pearl necklace, you can just not listen. Okay, thanks, bye! The alien's eyes are deep set and blue, and they are boring into me as I grind against my hand. Fuck, can an alien be hot? Because it could just be the damn shot, but he's fucking gorgeous. He blinks rapidly and swipes a large square hand over his gorgeous face and tucks his white hair behind his ear. His ear fans into a delicate frill where my cartilage would curve. As he tucks a short length of hair behind his ear, he traces a finger over a set of gills on his neck. Gills? As if his otherworldly beauty didn't remind me he wasn't human. The gills sure as shit do. I raise my chin to him as if to say, yeah, I see you watching me, you weird, sexy thing. And I swear I see him smirk. That's just what I need. I replace Tentacle Daddy in my fantasy with Hot Shark Guy and get to getting. By now, my finger is working my clit with pressure, and my orgasm builds. I wiggle my top all the way down and use my biceps to push my tits together. Will this get a response out of the handsome alien stranger? I lick my lips and push 2 fingers inside of my pussy again, but deeper this time. I don't know for sure if he has a dick, but I bet if he does, it's as thick as the rest of him. I imagine Shark Guy bending me over the back of the seat in front of me and slamming his cock into me. With my tits pushed together and my hand deep inside of me, I bite my lip. Fuck, it feels good to be watched. How have I never done this before? And that was an excerpt from All I Wanted Was Sushi, But I Got Abducted by Aliens Instead by Petra Palerno. Welcome to episode 2 of Feral Friday Podcast, Unhinged and Unbothered, a podcast where we talk about smut.
I'm Sarah too, and I'm currently reading Extra Virgin Gargoyle.
I'm Marie, and I'm reading Escaping Wonderland.
I'm Ivy, and I'm reading Ice Planet Barbarian series.
I'm Sarah One, and I'm reading Desire Untamed by Pamela Palmer and Like Mothman to a Flame by Remy Cavillage.
I'm Kitty, and I am reading Meet Your Match by Morgan Mercy.
I'm Erin, and I'm reading Wed to the Wild God by Ruby Dixon.
Bravo!
Wow.
That was fantastic. Although I would need a picture of his square hand.
It's just a paper hand.
But I would like to see a rendering, please, of the square hand.
You know, I will draw one and we'll post it to the Instagram.
Zero context.
Yep, zero context. I'm going to draw one. I'm writing myself a note right now.
Thank you.
Draw Tentacle Daddy. Little Daddy square hand.
All I could picture was this alien very coyly tucking the hair behind his ear and
Right.
looking at her like,
So what I was
Hey.
picturing was an age-appropriate Taylor Lautner as Shark Boy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Age-appropriate. Age-appropriate.
Age appropriate. Yes.
Shark man.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite books. It is.
Says a lot about you as a person.
Yep, and I own it. Speaking of owning my issues, I have a few Erin's Oopsies corner from the mini-sode. I just have a couple notes where my partner was screaming in the background while we were recording as to things I was getting wrong. And I really did. The first one is when I was recommending the book, The Unflinching Ash, and the person who recommended it I quoted it as being an author, Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams is actually a politician.
I knew that when you said that. I was like, that's wrong.
Yep, it is wrong. Stacey Abrams does great things. She helped create the Fair Fight Action, organized to address voter suppression, and also she is widely credited with boosting voter turnout in Georgia overall. Who I meant to say is Stacey McGowan, which is not entirely like not close, other than their first name, who is a school teacher by day and fantasy writer by night. She's a book influencer on multiple platforms. She's known for the TikTok sensation of turning my husband into a bookman, where she's turning him into a fictional character, trying to get him to growl and do dramatic things. It's very funny. She's in the Gold Coast of Australia.
Ooh, I've
not
been
in
there.
Georgia,
It's very
USA.
funny.
She's very funny, and that was my first oopsie. Oopsie number 2 was we did address it for a moment, was Michelle Rodriguez is the character I was trying to reference in the D&D movie. I made it sound like it was a man who was like losing his big wife. No, it was 2 normal wives with a very small man. The small man was portrayed by Bradley Cooper. And my last oopsies was I got a book title wrong. Because they're all in the same series. I said The Kraken's Captive by Katie Robert. I had actually meant to say The Kraken's Sacrifice, which is book 2 in the series. And then book 3 is The Gargoyle's Captive, in which my brain turned into scrambled eggs and mixed the 2 together.
Was this one that Justin pointed out? Did he know this?
He didn't know that one, but then I was re-listening to make sure I didn't screw anything else up. And I heard, when I was making the book reel so everyone can see what we've been reading, I realized I fucked up then. But yeah, I wanted to bring that to the top of the order. We own our mistakes in this podcast. I'm chock full of them, just like I may be chock full of Tentacle Daddy's digits. Square digits. So that's what I have.
We value honesty here.
That's what I'm here for.
That's why we're doing a podcast. We're like, let's just own our broken brain,
unhinged, unbothered,
and just share it with the world.
Yeah,
absolutely broken.
I think looking at our Spotify numbers so far, there's a market for this.
Apparently so.
Apparently,
you're also broken. Please like this podcast.
I mean, it took enough that we gathered and did this.
It did. 6 of us. There are 6 of us.
Quite a bit.
In 3 different time zones.
Right?
Yep. With plenty more people asking to be guests.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Which is, I think, says something. Since I got my bullshit out of the way, someone's been reading Escaping Wonderland.
Look on Sarah. I hated it, like chapter 1, because it's very jarring and you're just like, what is happening? I don't like this. And then I got into it, and then I was a big fan of the sex scene, the first sex scene, and I was like, well, I'm in. I'm all about this. However, what I'm going to my passage I'm going to read to illustrate the point I'm going to make is not smut. Get out. So, and I know. I'm throwing you for a loop. So, I'm going to read this. And you're going to be like, Sarah, this is boring, but just bear with me. There's a point.
Okay.
Her attention finally fell on the individual who'd spoken. She'd seen many aliens during her lifetime, though she'd seen few of them in person, but none of them had been quite like Jorkala, is how I'm going to pronounce that name. From head to toe, he couldn't have stood more than 4.5 feet tall, but he was at least just as wide thanks to his long, spindly arms. 6 long, spindly arms. His legs were comparatively short and thin, and he seemed to support his hunched upper body on his knuckles. Each of his hands had 2 long, thin fingers and a thumb of nearly equal length. There's an entire more paragraph of description. So tell me why the image I have in my head is Jabba the Hutt. or the caterpillar from A Bug's Life.
Oh my god!
Now that you say
It's
that,
the
I'm
4
not gonna
feet
imagine it
tall and
any other way.
equally wide.
Right.
Because of his spindly
Like, do
arms?
I just have?
Do they
He's
just
got a
stick
lot of long
out?
arms.
They just all
I
stick
don't know.
out?
You mean
Beats me.
Heimlich? Heimlich from the
Yes.
Bugs Life?
Correct.
He
Oh
wants
my-
to be a
Exactly
pretty
right.
butterfly.
Yeah, he wants to
Yep.
be a
He's a pretty
beautiful butterfly.
butterfly.
Oh my god.
But how do spindly arms make one
Maybe
as
because he
wide
has
as they are tall?
so many. He has so many. Like they all have like shoulders and they all like just lay on top of each other?
So it
don't
describes
know.
him as part caterpillar and part spider.
Huh.
Ew. No.
So is
But
this
but
episode
a
gonna
cute
be?
spider.
Is this episode
But
gonna
a
be ruining your favorite children's movies?
I hope not.
Shark Boy,
I mean-
and then A Bug's Life.
It might.
That could be it.
It might. It might.
It might be.
There.
So Tiffany also has another book with a spider person. I don't want to say the Marvel name, because I don't support that. It's called A Spider's Mate Bound, and I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't look like Heimlich. He looks like I can't even.
Please share.
But also,
Please share.
who has
Yeah,
a
let me-
spider kink? If you
I
have
Enough
know
spider
that
kink, I'm
Tiffany
judging you.
Roberts wrote a whole book about it, and I'm assuming
No.
it's 3 books.
If you can think of it, it exists.
Yeah. What's that rule? What is that?
Rule 32 on
Rule
the internet.
32 on the internet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let me get. It looks like it's a trilogy, actually. Yeah, it's a trilogy here. I am sharing this to the chat right now. All of them looks terrifying. They have the pinchers on their face.
Ew.
so is that
Why
what
would
we're
I
in-
want to see that? Don't share that to the
Who-
chat.
I did. It's
I want to see this.
No. I want to see that.
just split half. I don't want to see that. Yeah, give it to me.
What
It
the
kind of
fuck?
looks like Predator, but I don't think that Jorkala is Predator. It'd
No,
be very
but see,
poor
now I have to
Predator.
look at this link because I have zero imagination, and it's the only way that I
And
can.
because Sarah too always looks at spoilers.
Yes,
I do every time.
every time.
Oh, that's not sexy. I don't want to fuck that. Absolutely not.
Those are very
I
pointy
might.
at the end.
Yeah,
I'm not
just-
looking.
Yeah, there's definitely a claw factor here. I'm looking at the second one and I'm looking at the third one right now. There's claws and also very
cat.
little
I'm not
claw
a-
things. But back to
Well,
Jorkala.
I just
God.
Oh, do we have Jorkala fan art? Because
I tried to.
apparently
Oh,
that's-
you know what? Let me look for that specifically. There's nothing on Google.
See?
Wait, I'm gonna
Okay,
run
so
out of
no one else
battery.
could imagine this guy either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
Let's go to Pinterest.
I was just picturing the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland
that's
Right.
fair.
because I was
Since
like,
that is
cool,
what
he's
this book is
short and
based on.
fat. It's probably just the
Right, it's the caterpillar.
really
Does he
high
ever smoke a
caterpillar.
hookah?
He was, yeah. In the
Okay,
book,
he
yeah, in Escaping Wonderland,
Well,
they walk
I'm
into
thinking-
a room that's full of smoke. So I
Okay,
assumed that he was like puffing on opium.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would
Good
make sense.
stuff.
Heimlich from A Bug's Life.
So I want to ask you. I know I had shared. I don't know if you saw it. The art that's included in the book of Shadow. Where do you think his
No.
comes from?
He tucks
See,
it.
okay, we don't talk about that. We just don't think about
No.
it at all. We just
No.
gloss right over that.
The artwork
Ooh.
did him dirty because he's got a
Gloss right over
massive
it.
dong.
And
He's
it's
got like a
just
normal
completely
human
smooth.
dog. And the artwork did him dirty. He wears skinny jeans. He's got to tuck it back.
I just where's he gonna? He's not. Is he wearing pants in that?
Yeah, he's wearing because he wears like
Yeah.
Victorian
suit.
style fashions.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got better legs
I
than
just-
any woman I've ever seen.
Don't
He's
forget
very
about
anime
the
looking.
Kong shaped penis. I
Does
just
it say
think.
that?
All right, so they describe
I
it
don't
like
recall.
once. And I think the immediate thing was I needed to say was, is this shaped like a Kong dog toy? If anyone does not have a dog, look up KONG dog toy. It's not going to be something gross. It's an actual brand of dog toys. They're like
It is.
industrial. Like if you have a dog who's a hardcore chewer, And
Oh,
it usually
yeah,
have a
yeah.
hole in it for peanut butter, or treats or
Mhm.
medicine, whatever you need. But they're slightly pyramid shaped and bulbous, and that's the image I got of the dick. And I was like, my God, where is it going on the fan art? Because it's not like they shared the fan art somewhere. She put it in her book.
It's
That's
like
it.
the first
That's
page.
so nice of her.
It was very nice of her, but where does the dick go? I need to know.
Yeah, we do
Don't
need like
think
real
about
The
it.
fan
Just
art,
don't
he's
think
like
about it.
crossing his legs, so like it's tucked.
We just ignore it. We just ignore it
It was cold.
until it comes out, and then you're like, oh,
God.
hooray.
Well, is
Here's
it
a
a
dick.
Red Rocket situation then? That's my
No.
It's not a
we
Red
don't-
Rocket situation. It's just
This is
tucked.
why we don't imagine things based on the in-depth descriptions provided. Just don't.
You mean like that would be a good little segue into Duskwalker?
yeah, that actually would be a great. Speaking of imagining things as depicted, Marie, what have you been reading?
I have been reading. What am I reading today, or what have I been reading?
What are you here to talk to us about?
I'm here to. I want to know
Librarian
about
of
Orpheus's
Souls.
dick.
Yeah.
Oh no, who's talking about Orpheus's dick?
Oh,
Man,
I
Ignore me.
was
I'm
going to talk
Oogie.
about Orpheus's dick.
I'm
First,
adding
that
this
was
to
my
my
first
oopsie
topic.
pile. Here we go. I'm shutting up now. Thank you. Another one for the pile.
Yes, speaking of dicks that are not
Corporeal.
Normal,
well, no, it's real.
Yeah.
It's
average,
corporeal. It's real.
typical.
He just has like a little hidey hole that he like hides it in his body. Like all demons, apparently. Apparently, all demons can just suck
Correct.
it right up.
Suck it in.
I can't do it again. I make the sound again.
I got you. All right, hold on. Ready for the sound bit.
Yeah.
Ted, do not cut. Ready? That's it. Keep that one in. Thanks, Ted.
Yeah.
Ted's our editor.
Um,
Ted's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted.
Yes, thank you, Ted. Yeah, the picture that Aaron had shared with us all that had been passed down from friend to friend to friend to friend to friend regarding Orpheus's dick. I really didn't understand until I read it. Why are
But
you
that one
looking
was
at
for
us like
Sweet
that?
Berries.
Yeah, that was for Sweet Berries.
What? I thought that was for Orpheus.
No.
No,
That
that was
picture
the
is
You did
missing
share
your
one
pickle.
though. You
Is this
shared.
a big
Wait.
mile? So
No,
Somebody
the
shared
Orpheus we
Orpheus
found fan art
did.
that just straight up showed it.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that the sticky note was Orpheus.
No,
Oh,
the
no,
sticky note
I
was for
shared-
Sweet Berries.
yeah, the sticky note
Which is
that we're
also,
referring
I
to
just
is
finished that.
yeah, it is a sisterhood of traveling pants of a sticky note depicting Mothman's dick. It's been passed on from reader to reader to reader. So if anyone
Okay.
listening wants this picture, send us a DM on Instagram. We cannot post this, but we can send it to you. If you want it, send us a message. Say, give me that post-it, and we will send it to you.
Okay, so the post-it, no, is not apparently a representation of Orpheus's dick, but Orpheus has tentacles
Yes.
on the bottom of his dick.
Mhm.
And
So you
okay,
can't escape.
you really can't escape. Like he really just sucks you in.
Yeah.
And I think the best part is that he literally will rearrange your guts for you so that you can just fit his entire dick. Like literally magic
Mhm.
with his claws, blood magic, just a little scrape and then a little oop and then there you go. It all
It's pretty
fits.
considerate.
The only true
mean,
gentleman. Let's be real.
Like I think when she talks about the first time that his dick like she's like giving him a hand job or something and he like his dick like comes out of his slit. It's literally called his slit. And she talks about how it like goes all the way up to her elbow. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yes, literally rearranging all the guts.
How small is she? Because I'm looking at Sarah just
She-
very kindly shared some fan art to the Discord.
Oh, what? Let me go
And
look
Yes.
at
all right, I'll be
Kindly?
real. Based on
Hold
the
on.
description, That image isn't big enough.
Wait, let's see. Oh no, that is not. I've seen this before. That is not big enough. Rhea, who okay, let's get this straight. I loved this
Let
book.
me get a better picture.
Orpheus, we love
Orpheus
him.
stand for life.
Stand for life.
Absolutely.
Rhea, girl, girl. We have some issues that we need to get figured out. A little toxic. A little toxic. But yeah. Okay, wait. She's like 5'8". She's not small. I have
I
it
think
highlighted.
this is good
Wait, let me find
proportions.
it.
I think I found an image for you to look at.
Okay,
I'm
hold
shorter
on.
than she is. I'm 5'2".
Oh no, she's 5'6". I'm 5'3". I'm also shorter than she is.
Huh.
Short girls rule.
Yeah, she looks right proportions, I'll be honest, in the picture I just shared.
Ooh, you can see the
Um,
tentacles wrapping around her. Oh my god. Around her thigh.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I need proportions. If like,
I
okay,
know.
much like an IKEA desk, if you're gonna show me what something is, I need the directions with it. I need IKEA like directions as to how the stick functions.
Yes,
That's just me.
I think that's fair.
Allen
But
wrench
then they
out.
give too many words, and I'm just done. Like my mind just blacks out.
I know. Sometimes we just need the pictures.
Like I'm
Pictures,
like
like IKEA
stunned by these
instructions.
pictures.
Yeah.
Like you guys are
I
sharing these
know.
pictures, and I'm like, wait, is that what he looks
I think
like?
that Orpheus could even be a little bit bigger than this
Yeah.
picture shows. I think he really could. Like, just like stretch him out a little bit. Whoop,
Just a
you
little
know,
taller.
just a little taller. But this book, A Soul to Keep, Duskwalker Bride's Book 1, was so good, other than my little gripes about Rhea. It did take me a hot minute to get into the book. The first few chapters were not doing it for me, but once I really
remember
got
that when
in,
I first read it.
yeah, I was really struggling. But once I got in there and we like got to the Vale and Orpheus really like started doing his thing, his little garden, and like it's just also cute, and like the owl, the witch
Owl mother.
owl. Yeah, that is his
Yeah.
mother. Spoiler.
Spoiler.
mother.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
The whole
What's a
thing.
spoiler?
The whole thing. I know, all the spoilers. But yeah, I think the rearranging her guts, I was like, wow, we have like made it. Like this isn't even like I just really love how like that's such a just stupid thing that people say. And it's like, no.
No, we really did it.
No. We're really making this real. And I just appreciated it. I was like, yeah,
We
I
did it
would
with a spell. We did it with
Yeah.
magic.
I know. I would definitely let someone do that to me.
Mhm.
Although he did tell her that, now no one else would ever be able to essentially make her come. Like that she just
Yeah,
was
I know.
ruined for everyone else. But if that's the price we have to pay for literally
Yep.
our guts being erased,
He was honest.
he was on
He
it.
was upfront about it.
He was
was.
considerate.
Yeah.
I think it's
He asked
considerate.
for permission.
Yep.
Especially after all the sexy baths, like that was like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Those
So-
baths, my God.
Yeah.
Did
those
anyone read the
baths.
next one?
Not
No,
yet.
I'm
I'm
like
waiting.
halfway through it.
I
Right.
started.
I read the second one. It took me a lot longer to read than the first one, A Soul to Keep. So number 2 is A Soul to Heal. It was fine.
Mhm.
I did not
Mhm.
have the
Yeah,
same
I don't like her.
I don't like her either, and I also don't like him. That's just like all right, if I'm dreaming of my fictional monster man who's going to rail me, he also needs to be way smarter than me. I need him to like think of every single need possible, X, Y, and Z. Sure. I need him to think ahead and know that he needs to rearrange my I know he needs to rearrange my guts. He knows that. He's gonna look up that spell, he's gonna get it ready. You don't really get that in A Soul to Heal. I get the appeal of it. I'm mostly going forward. I'm trying to get to number 3. Our friend Kay has gone on that the third one, A Soul to Touch, is the best one in the whole series. So that is going to be very soon one of my future reads. But A Soul to Heal, with the word heal in the title, is definitely more of it's definitely not a soft book, but it has softer themes in it. It's still graphic. It's still a monster getting absolutely, downtown, pound town to a human. But it's definitely softer themes. And then I noticed there weren't trigger warnings at the beginning of that one. There's definitely trigger warnings of some domestic abuse situation, and I will also include that there's pregnancy in this one.
Ooh.
Which is not for everyone. I think that's also maybe not why I don't know. When you guys read it, we'll talk about it.
Does it have
the third one?
Is it the Duskwalker from the first book? The brother?
Yes.
Okay, that is the main
brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kind of dumb brother.
The dumb
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
the dumb brother.
muted and I didn't realize, but shout out to Kay. We love you. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Kay, come back. We miss
We
you.
love you.
But yeah, that's my only shtick about the rest of the ones. I'll probably read the third and fourth eventually. I really want to get to the third just because Kay gives wonderful recommendations, and I'm chasing the high of Orpheus, essentially.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll probably
we
read
could see
them
that.
as well somewhere down the line.
My forever book pile is just
Right.
growing.
Right.
Speaking of my next awful segue. Speaking of someone who I'm chasing the high of and who isn't an idiot and is someone who is way smarter than me, and is probably my favorite monster. I might say this might have been one of my favorite monster reads so far. Is A Librarian of Souls.
Oh, Marie, take it away.
Hello. I really, really liked it. It was really, really interesting and it was really different. As far as other things that I've read. So I am going to not look at any of you, because if not, I'm not going to be able to read this. Okay. His cock slides between my folds, heavy and burning hot. The tip catches on my slit and I gasp. It's different this time. It isn't blunt. Instead, it's pointed and so much larger. Hard veins twist around his shaft as my thoughts begin to swim and wade through the syrup coating them. What will feel like inside me? Will it hurt so deliciously that then I'll wake up and still feel a stretch of it? Such a naughty thing you are, he purrs. No, I grunt, even as my cheeks burn. Your pussy's crying for my cock, Joanna. You cannot deny this, or me, any longer. I can, I argue, my ass still burning from the spanking. But I told him he would have to make me, and I want him to make me. I just will have to show you then, Mona Bill. Augustine plunges his cock into me. He pushes into my giving body until he has buried himself inside me. The stretch burns and pulses through my center. My pulse convulses as he slowly grinds my hips into him, making sure I have taken all of him. Then the veins of his cock flare inside me and make fullness impossible to comprehend. A greedy pussy, he moans, made for my taking. Do you feel my quills mold to you? How hungry they are for your release? My mouth hangs open, the drool slipping from my lips as the words ripple through my thoughts. Quills? That was an excerpt from Librarian of Souls by Ash Raven.
Woo!
Everyone
Oh, that book.
fine,
That book.
fine music. Orchestra.
So good. Like,
Wait, I can't find the fucking.
come back to us.
I can't find the
Marie.
Google call.
Come back to us.
We're over here.
Mark,
We're over here.
Got it, got it.
It's books like that that actually give the promised buckets.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a book that I would categorize as a
Ugh.
buckets of comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. It was so good. Okay, I love.
Like I said, I can see how it's not for everyone though.
Yes,
I get the other
I get
side
that.
of it.
I get that. 1,000%.
But when you use words like deliciously, you're like, fuck.
It just
It's so good.
every
I
every
just thought-
scene was so good. The primal play, the pet play, the everything.
All of it.
was.
All of it.
It was so good.
I do have a very particular, and I actually meant to look up the name of him.
Oh,
Of the idea of this, how his sand behaves
Mm.
reminds me of.
Is it kinetic sand? Like the kids'
Did anybody
toys?
ever watch Naruto?
Yes.
No.
Gara, the sand. So, it's like possessed by like a sand demon essentially, and sand just pours out of him all the time. That's what I was.
Pouring out of him.
Okay, the sand was weird at first, but like after he did like the sand collar around her neck, I was like, "Oh, this is not weird anymore. It's fine. Whatever.
is
Do whatever you want. It's
I
fine."
do have my
things he did
reservations.
with that sand, I
Oh.
was like, oh, I didn't know I could be into that.
Right? Right?
I will
Well,
say I had to actively ignore the feeling of the sand idea
Mm,
Yeah.
because, like,
yeah.
to me, too much.
Sandy vagina.
Sandy vagina. No,
Oh,
I like am
Bone
absolutely
Big
there.
wants a
It wasn't
sandy
like
vagina.
beach sand. To me, it was like black
No.
crystal sand that
And-
was like not
Yeah.
sandy. It was more like
He
Like
could
perfectly
recall
fine
all of
powder,
the sand
like-
back
powder.
into him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had full control of it. He was
Mhm.
never going to leave a grain of it sticking somewhere
Mhm.
uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I was like, this is different. This is like
Mhm.
magic sand.
It is magic sand. I thought it was weird at first that it was black, but then like at the end it all comes together and it's like so
does.
pretty and it
Yeah.
was great.
I have one image to share to bother everyone with.
Oh,
So this
dear
is going to
Lord.
be on Sarah's side of part of the where this book I could hear the in my head. And apparently this is a crap on the mouse episode just a little bit. Has anyone seen Rescuers from Down Under?
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh no.
So I'm going to share an image
Aaron,
and we'll put it.
ruining children's
Oh,
movies.
We're gonna-
no, I love that show. No.
So I'll post it. No context later.
Are we
but I
talking
just-
old school Rescuers Down Under or the new
I'm
one?
just wait,
There's a new one?
This is what
Yes.
I'm imagining with Augie, like
Where are
doing
you
aftercare
posting
to
it?
Joanna. I'm about to post it into the Discord. My hand is
Okay.
literally hovering over the enter button.
Just
Just
do
press
it.
enter.
Do it.
Here we go. This is Augie. Doing aftercare with Joanna. And Joanna, who I fondly know as the monitor.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my word.
Hold on.
God.
I'm taking off
I-
this filter so you can see my look of disgust.
I can see it through the,
Be on
through
your
the
side,
cat.
really get the
I can't.
I
That's
am gonna be
vile.
posting this.
That's
That's
Uh,
vile.
You're welcome. Yep, that's this apparently to me. It's fine.
Ruining
Everything's
children's
fine.
movies.
I know. But yeah, this book, I was not expecting to like it at all. I was not expecting to fuck with it. But it was good. It was amazing. The dark academia, everything about the library.
I loved it.
Mhm.
The vibes were just immaculate.
That
Mhm.
and
And,
the
like-
French thing. I
And
will
then-
say
okay.
that like
I do think I had like a personal element in the sense of like I used to have a huge crush on the guy that ran the afternoon portion of like section of the library at my university.
Oh, really?
Like huge fucking crush. Dude was
Aw.
married, and I'm like,
Aw.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like started reading this, and I'm like,
Brought it all together.
I thought the French was nice, but I was so mad that Joanna like didn't like the nickname Darling anymore because like
Mhm.
that was just like that's just like top tier for me. Like I'm sorry, like with his whole vibe, like in just like then him not being able to use it anymore, I was so sad. And like the French was pretty, but like I don't know, it did not do the same things to me as
French
Darling.
the
doesn't do it
French
for
was
me.
weird.
I don't
Mhm.
speak French.
Me either.
I don't speak French. I can read it, but I translated it to Spanish, not English.
Mm,
So, because it looks so similar to like how you say it in Spanish. It
mhm.
just sounds so weird.
Yeah.
I can't do a French accent, so in my mind, I was doing an Italian accent, but like a New
Well,
York
in my head-
Italian.
it's a hop and a skip and jump to that Creole which you
Yes.
like, and maybe it's because I've been watching the reboot of Interview with the Vampire.
Yes.
But that was I read that before I've been watching it. But that is just like where I go with it in my head. I hear that.
Mm.
And I don't want to like.
Lestat's old
Oh my
like
god! Yep.
accent.
Yep.
I would have
Call me
loved,
out. Why don't you, Marie?
and I hope the author does this, but I would actually love to see more stories about the like commission, basically, like the
Yeah, I
the
think
other
that's the
monsters and like
goal.
their love stories.
Yeah,
Or
they are all planned. On
Good.
their Instagram, because I was after Aaron had posted the one,
It was a
art
slide of
that was so
it was
good.
art of the
Yes.
entire commission board.
Yeah, they had all of the characters commissioned and they're all being planned. I think in that release, because there's that little snippet or epilogue coming out this week sometime in their email thing, whatever it's called. And then they said that they'll be working on the next book in the series.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
I want to read about the priest that
The
is actually the
priest.
devil.
Oh, man,
the demon. The
I want
demon
to read
priest.
about
I was
the
like,
Siren Queen, the pirate
yes,
queen.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
That like mysterious, they're obviously if anyone doesn't
And her
ever-
love.
oh, I just
And
don't
her
get it.
love. Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
I think
But
they
I
did a really
literally-
good job of building the world where I'm like
Yes.
super invested in what the
Yes.
other characters are doing.
But I
Yeah.
literally burst out laughing when they I put two and two together that the demon was the church priest. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. He's like,
I
don't say
love
that
it.
name in front of me.
I
And
know.
anybody
That was
said Jesus
great.
Christ. It was so funny.
That was hilarious.
The closest I
Yeah.
can get to priest. That's a book that I wanted to put next month for our Discord book club. The theme is going to be dark romances. So there's obviously I've spent a lot of time going through trigger warnings for every book and things like that. But there is a book that I so badly wanted to put on the other book club list, but it's not on Kindle Unlimited anymore. It's called Priest. And this is not I mean, whatever your definition of the church is, it's not technically a monster fucker. It could be depending on your definition. There is some anointing of oils going on. There is, I want to say the blurb is literally like it's something short, but it's something ridiculous. So Priest is by Sierra Simone.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
If you know Sierra Simone, there's high expectations here.
love
This
Sierra
is
Simone.
the 7-sentence blurb. There are many rules a priest can't break. A priest cannot marry. A priest cannot abandon his flock. A priest cannot forsake his God. I've always been good at following rules until she came. Emphasis on came. My name is Tyler Anselm Bell. I'm 29 years old. 6 months ago, I broke my vow of celibacy on the altar of my own church, and God help me, I would do it again. I am a priest, and this is my confession. Man, I was so upset
It's
it
like
was
the-
not on Unlimited.
It's like the priest from Fleabag.
Okay, I've only read one Sierra Simone book, and Sammy, Aaron and I's other friend, got me onto this one, and it's called The Fae Queen's Captive, and it is a sapphic, short story. It was done for a collection, and it is top tier. It is like BDSM positive kink representation. It is plus size FMC. It is amazing. I love it. The Fae Queen's Captive, Sierra Simone. One of my
I feel like
favorites.
I've heard her name before elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I had actually brought up something. I started one of Sierra's other books, and I had a hard line. I don't think this is. I'm gonna spoil it because I think people should know. I read and I saw everyone posting about it. The American Queen from the Camelot trilogy. So this is a triad. It is bisexual. It is gay. It is not so much like body representation. The whole gist is that this well-traveled socialite falls into a situationship with the president and vice president of the United States of America. It's kept a secret, but there is also in the second book, I was gonna I like finishing things. I like, even if I am not a did not finish person.
You're
Like
not a DNFer?
I'm not. I have to suffer to enjoy other things.
I'll suffer through it.
I do, but in the second book, there's incest. There's incest, baby.
I just
Like,
How
like,
close?
are we
How
talking
close?
like, yeah, I'm with Sarah, like cousins?
Are we
Nope,
talking
they're
Game
half
of
siblings.
Thrones type of?
They're half siblings.
Oh,
At least
It
they're not
happens more than once.
Yeah.
Are they like
No.
main characters?
Yeah.
No.
Do they know?
One of them definitely did it.
Oh.
No.
One of them, it's definitely
assault.
like not 100%
No.
sure. Like there's thought. I just couldn't finish it. I was just shocked because I felt like that
No.
book was recommended everywhere. Like everyone's like, oh, like I want to get into dark romance. Like, in just the name and the art is gorgeous right away, with like the blue and the like the beautiful woman with her back turned to everyone. You know, it's like that classic Americana princess with the blonde hair. Yeah, just not for me.
Can we talk
I
about how
should
in
double check
love
that.
I am that especially KU authors nowadays are listing trigger warnings at the beginning of their books? Like,
Yes.
I love that so much. I know some people don't like to be spoiled, but I would rather.
Yeah, I would also rather be spoiled. So like
Yeah.
with this other book club list I'm like helping bring up, I am seeing, I don't know if it is a Kindle Unlimited author thing. There are authors out there who are making, you know, they have their websites and they have something inside of their book that says if you want a full trigger warning for this whole series
I love
or for
that.
this book, it brings you right there. They're being a lot more conscious. I think like the phrase that I've been seeing is protect your hearts but read on if you can, like something like that, which I do think is really nice in this age of technology,
I
be
love
able to
it.
like put that stuff in there, especially like I think as a group we all agreed for the next month we're not chill with like child death or animal death or things like that. You know, there's some particular
Yeah.
things. I also voted no poo poo pee pee.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Completely
No,
fair.
That I
Not
I
my
don't want to
thing.
read about poo poo pee pee. I'm
No.
good.
No.
Agree.
No poo poo pee pee. It's the only official way to say it. I'm sure it's called something professional, but
Yes.
I'm just calling it that. But making it easier for people to read and consume content and then not get upset at the author because there's no gotcha moment. I think that
Yeah.
very nice. I
Yeah.
really like that.
That's another reason I love fan fiction, because fan fiction has so many tags. You know exactly what you're getting into. Fan fiction. Erin and I could talk about this forever.
Fan fiction.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw a TikTok the other day with a bunch of Hermione fics in it, and I'm sitting here like, I know half of these because of Kitty.
Because Kitty can't shut up about Hermione.
Well, my
I'm
favorite is Kitty's catching up to ones I've read.
Ugh.
So it's been like incredible for me because I'm reliving it. Like, she recently finished Carpathian.
Oh my god. That one was so good.
It's
I
like
mean, ugh.
Agatha Christie had a love child with the majority of the Hermione fan fiction.
Is that the other one that was written by Sen Lin Yu or?
No,
her
this one was
name?
not by Sen Lin Yu. But Sen Lin Yu has written a lot, actually.
Yes.
She has a lot of fan fiction, other than Manacled. Manacled is the big one that everybody knows. If anybody knows anything about Hermione, they know Manacled.
It's another really big round, I would say, on the internet where a lot of people are getting really excited about it. I would say in general, it's a big one to jump into, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
If you want a dark romance right out the gate where it's like gut wrenching, like I cried reading it. I have my friend Kate, who I've mentioned on the first episode, who read Bride. They're also super into Hermione. I talk mostly about it with them. They just finished their third reread of Manacled in chronological order. So if you've read it, if you've read Manacled, you know there's different orders to read it in. All of them brutal for different reasons. Yeah, they're finishing theirs and they're like, I hate myself, but this is
Yeah.
like the most lovable pain I've ever been in.
It's
It's
crazy,
brutal.
like, it is crazy what Hermione has done. Like, I told you that you need to read Secrets and Masks, right? Yes, that one honestly was even more god tier to me than Manacled. Like, I cannot even like it is just as brutal in a lot of ways, although it doesn't have a lot of the same trigger warnings. It has other trigger warnings, a lot of them, but Secrets and Masks, and it's even longer than Manacled, and it was, oh my god, you should totally tell your friend Kate to read that one, please.
I'm sure that I would be shocked if Kate hasn't read that. But speaking of all this Hermione, I'm sure we'll cover it on another episode. But
We will.
where majority of this is going to be found is on Archive of Our Own. It's also referred to as AO3. You can just read it point blank, look it up. There is an option to download it so you can load it to your Kindle. Put a pretty cover on it so you're not scrolling on your phone through a website because that doesn't save your place, which is really very frustrating. You can make an account. I will say I requested to make an account last week. I just got the email today because you have to request an
does take a
invitation. It
while.
takes a while to get an
Yeah.
invitation, but you don't need it necessarily.
Yeah, most Hermione's are not locked behind like a username that you would need to have. There are some that, because there has been a lot of other things, but yes, there are some that you do have to have an account for, but most of them you don't.
Yeah, no, I love it. There's a lot of other, like, I don't know if, have you guys read any other fan fiction? I'm curious.
So, fun fact, my intro into reading porn was fan fiction when I was 12.
I love that.
I ran across
what was it?
A Legend of Zelda.
Of course.
All about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think we talked about this was a while ago on the Smut Heathens chat. Robin had posted about something, and I mentioned that, and she was like, "Yeah, you know what? You can just probably go ahead and die now." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like I should."
that fan fiction, that original fan fiction discussion was like one of our first discussions in the Smut Heathens thread, actually.
Yeah.
That was one of the original discussions. It was great.
I remember like one of the first ones I read, it was I don't even know if the website exists. It was on Quizilla, which is a throwback website. Ivy knows what I'm talking about. As they're wheezing. I read one that was about Oliver Wood from Harry Potter. I remember it was like 100 chapters long. I'm gonna see if it still exists.
Oliver Wood.
Was he your keeper?
He was my keeper. 100%. Like I can't believe. Oh my god, they have something called the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine.
Yeah, to get onto like the original Quizilla, what it looks like. This is incredible to me.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to play Neopets on the Wayback Machine too, because Neopets doesn't really work the way it used to.
It's not fair.
It's not. It's not fair.
I've read so many fanfics on. I read My Chemical Romance ones for sure. I know I definitely did. Oh my god, I'm trying to think what else. I definitely read Hermione. A lot of like emo band ones. Like that was when you could write fanfics about like real people.
Yeah.
And then it didn't matter because it was, 2005.
Right. It was a different time. For sure.
So was. I remember looking through Bible fan fiction
one
time just for literally just for shits and giggles.
Like
I was like,
David and Jonathan.
People have read, people have written fan fiction.
David and Goliath.
Sure.
Tell me how that works out. David and Goliath. Oh my god.
Jesus and Peter.
Tell me more.
I'm pretty sure I've read some like Mary Magdalene fanfic.
Oh, probably. That would be
Mary was probably the hottest piece of ass. Are you kidding me? I get mad about it. People are mad because she was hot.
But I think like the only fan fiction I've read is 50 Shades, like when it first came out, which is really embarrassing.
I've never read 50 Shades.
But I didn't know it was fan fiction at the time.
Yeah.
It was probably written better than the book.
I mean,
No,
50
it was
Shades
awful.
was originally
Aaron,
fan
no.
fiction.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if 50 Shades fanfic was better written
Then
and
the
edited
Oh, yeah.
than 50 Shades itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. I read 50 Shades of Grey.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
you
then
read
you were
this,
reading,
Right.
and then you
Okay.
went
Which
to
is
look up more
which
stuff.
we now know is
Yes,
fan fiction.
Is fan fiction.
So I didn't
It is.
know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nobody knew
I
until we
was
know.
appalled at the quality of the writing.
I think the
And
first
I still
fan
read all 3
fiction,
books because I
of
had to
course.
know.
Yeah. I think the first fan fiction I looked up was there had been this TV show on Netflix. This would have been like 2013 because I was living in Arizona.
Mhm.
And it was called like The Circle or something
Was
about
it
a
a
circle.
sci-fi or was it
It was more just kind of like magical realism. It was
But it
Netflix.
had what's
I
her
think-
face from Harry Potter, right?
I don't even remember. But I
Yeah.
remember there was a girl, she was maybe a twin, I don't know, but I remember I was so mad that they only did like 2 seasons of it or something. And I was looking up stuff online and it was kind of the same thing. I didn't realize I was reading fanfic until it got really spicy. And then I
You're like,
was
I don't
like,
remember this.
and then that was my first like real introduction to fan fiction was looking that up. And maybe Vampire Diaries stuff because I used to be obsessed with Vampire Diaries. Always needed more.
Speaking of, there was representation of monster smut on Witches of East End. And I remember this vividly. There is an episode, I want to say this is only a 2-season show, right?
Mhm.
Real quick, it had Jenna Dewen, who is now the ex of Channing Tatum. A lot of other like familiar faces on it. But there is an episode, I want to say is in the 2nd season, where one of the sisters ends up like attracting like something that's similar to a golem, and it has a tail,
Oh.
and they show this like really brief moment where the tail goes up her dress and it's like been sneaking to her window and like having sex with her at night, and she's tired all the time, and they're trying to figure it out. I remember this vividly. Also, was it The Secret Circle from CW by chance? With I think I know the girl's face.
Oh, maybe it was a CW show.
I believe it was
found-
this. I know her. She's been in everything. Britt Robertson.
Yes. Oh my god, wait, okay, I'm looking at this now.
I also watched this show.
This was it. Yes. Yep, that was it.
Yeah, no, that's not that we need to include things that aren't books, but I'm gonna say
You know,
you should watch Secret Circle. You should watch Witches of East End
yeah,
just to get to the part where there is actual monster smut on TV.
love it.
It's
I love
perfectly
monster
written.
smut.
It's so weird. It's so angsty and like it just doesn't make sense. Like they definitely like, it got canceled. I'm feeling like that's getting more and more common. You get 2 seasons of a show and then people's attention spans and it goes away. Unfortunately, but yet we're on the season whatever of The Bachelor, unfortunately.
Hey, I like The Bachelor.
You can have it.
I love when they go to the island. That's my favorite, to be honest.
I just
I
not my
know.
thing. I'd rather
I
watch
know.
more of Secret Circle.
Well, yeah, I
I
would much
would.
rather. Okay, there's like, and there was something about CW shows in that time era.
Particularly Unhinged.
So unhinged. And
The
they were
writers got
so
away with
good.
everything.
I know, and like, they were great. I miss that era.
One day.
All
one day
the
they'll bring
things
it back.
leading to fan fiction. We love it.
Everything.
Everything. Everything.
Did we have anything else on the agenda?
No.
Oh,
Let me just
wow.
pull it
we
back
did
up
it.
and
We did
look.
it. Since the Sarah who's fond of the agenda is not here.
No. We have covered everything on the agenda.
No
Alright.
agenda anymore, just vibes.
Just vibes.
Just vibes.
Well, if anyone listening has any suggestions for other CW and Hinge shows, if you
yeah.
want to know the top Hermione picks, I am going to be leader this at probably the day this comes out. I'm going to be posting what we've been reading, including the Hermione picks and links to get to them. And yeah, that's what we got today. A
Love
little
it.
bit of monster smut, a little bit of tentacles, some sandy boys. It's a little bit of everything
Love
today.
those Sandy boys. Yeah.
We got a little sandy and a little wet. Look at
A
us.
little
I
sandy.
know.
We're really stopping the dams today.
Just like a day
We're
at
not
the beach.
sandbags.
A day at
Just
the
like
beach.
a day at the beach.
Yes, you're right, Ivy. You are.
Can we
And
have
you know
Ted
what? All
put like wave noise on the way out?
oh, so many good books we
Why
talked
do
about
we
today
need the
too.
noise when you do it so well, Aaron? You sound just like the ocean.
Flies inside of a shell.
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of Feral Friday podcast. Join us next week for another mini-sode, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 3.
You can find us on Instagram at Feral Friday Pod. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe. If you'd like us to cover a particular book or series, please send us an email at feralfridaypodcast@gmail.com. Happy reading!